Hi guys, I was just recently doing my video on Santal Complete and I just thought of a good idea for a video. I'm going to make two of them and they're all going to be about openings, and one of the videos is going to be great openings that don't last, and this one is going to be openings worth waiting for, like challenging openings. And I have here, I'm going to talk about 7 fragrances. I have 6 bottles here. I only have a sample of the 7th. And I don't have it right here, but it's a really good example of this phenomenon, that the opening is a little bit too much, too sharp, too heavy, too challenging in some way. But then if you wait just like a little while, the wonderfulness starts coming through. And I'll start off with my signature scent itself, and I think maybe the reason that so many people have kind of missed this one is that it's really heavy to start with. The opening is overwhelmingly green and sharp and over floral. I think I find it a little bit aldehydic as well, although that's not listed as a note like aldehydes, but you have to wait for the dry down, like a good 15 minutes, and this goes beautiful and powdery and it's such a beautiful fragrance. It was created by Dominique Ropion. He's done a lot of other great fragrances. Give this one a try. For me, this is the classic that will never leave my collection. I have been through bottles and bottles and bottles of this ever since I was young, when it first came out. And you can still find it online. You won't find it at your local store, and it's not that expensive either. So Safari by Ralph Lauren. Did I even say the name? It's Safari by Ralph Lauren. Okay, and then after that I have 2 Profumum Roma fragrances. Orangea is a great summer fragrance, but when you first spray it on, it is really, really strong and sharp and green, and it's all about petitgrain. It also has, I mean, they only list 4 notes, and it's mint, petitgrain, bergamot, I think, and pine needles, something like that. Did I miss something? I think those are the ones, but this is so much more than that. This reminds me a little bit of Mandarin by Xerjoff. It doesn't have that same spiciness, but it has that really orangey experience. And I mean, the projection is unbelievable in the summer. You got to put it on like half an hour before you leave the house, and then it'll just keep hitting back at you. It's such a great fragrance. It's not my typical fragrance at all. I had to sort of get used to it. I think I tried it in store sometime and wasn't sure about it, but then it kept like projecting, and it was just wonderful. Getting that all day. It's beautiful, beautiful fragrance from Perfume Roma. And then next I have 2 patchouli fragrances, actually 3. They all have patchouli, and I think that patchouli, but these 2, I'll talk about them together. This one is Arbolé from Hiram Green, and this is Patchouli from Perfume Roma. And I find that they both have, and I find this with a lot of patchouli fragrances, even like psychedelic, although I love it, the opening is too much. This one, Arbolé, I think I might have reviewed this on my channel before. This even smells like cough medicine to me in the beginning. It has kind of like a synthetic kind of licoricey feel to it, like some cough medicines, cough syrups do. But when it settles down, it becomes really like a powdery, beautiful patchouli kind of feel. It's so beautiful, so worth waiting for. This one I actually had to grow on me, though. I wore this quite a few times before. I hated it the first time I tried it, but then now that I've gotten to know it, and when it starts to warm up on the skin, it's such a beautiful fragrance. Actually, the only one from this house that I even like so far. I mean, my taste is changing all the time, so that could change. And this patchouli one, I just recently got this, like in April or something, May, April. And it's even a little too much, just sniffing the top. But once it's been on for 15 minutes, it kind of goes chocolatey and extremely like satisfying. It's kind of a big fragrance. It's a deep fragrance with just the right amount of sweetness. So don't dismiss it after the opening. You have to wait for this one. I really, really recommend it. I love it. It's a perfect winter fragrance, but it works on a summer night or like when it's a little overcast like it is right now. And that's one of my favorites. I even actually love the opening of this, but I can see why other people might find it challenging. I think it's birch tar. it gives it kind of a shippy quality to this fragrance. It's a nice amber, cellar-like kind of patchouli-based fragrance. I think one of the best releases ever from Chanel. It's so beautiful, but I think it's the birch tar, and it gives it this smokiness that some people might struggle with and might find even a little bit too masculine to wear, maybe. Yeah, it smells like an old ship, but in the best way possible. Yeah, it's smoky in that kind of same kind of way that, like, there's certain teas that are smoky. What do they call these teas? Can't think of the word right now. My husband used to drink it all the time. Anyway, it's a great fragrance. Oh boy, it's getting windy here now. And one other fragrance is that might be a little challenging all the way through, but I think it, mostly the opening, it's Orchid Soleil from Tom Ford. It's a lot of, it's kind of like a creamy tuberose lily kind of experience with chestnuts, and it has kind of a whipped cream feeling. And it's really strong in the beginning, but it really is nice on the skin. And I do hear from people that this is like a love-hate kind of fragrance, and that you either love it or hate it, but I personally think that it's really nice and spicy and beautiful and kind of like a summery, satisfying summery fragrance. And I think you just have to wait. I mean, I've kind of struggled with tuberose these days, but this one still works for me. I think maybe it's more about the lily in this one, lily and that creaminess. It's beautiful. Might struggle a little bit in the beginning, but wait until it settles down and then make your decision. So those, okay, and the last one I want to mention, I only have a sample with just this much left, and it's Al-Khatt by Xerjoff. And now the sun came out. And it has a little bit of that manure kind of barnyard feeling in the beginning, but then when that settles down, it's like a beautiful, refined oud and vanilla floral fragrance that works so well in the summer heat. My friend just told me that it reminds her a lot of Alien, but a much more luxurious and more refined version of it. She didn't know what I was wearing, and she's pretty good at like pinpointing, and she has a great frame of reference when it comes to fragrances, and she knew exactly which one this fragrance was reminding her of. And I really want to get a bottle of this Al-Khatt. It's spelled A-L hyphen K-H-A-T-T. It's just, and I know people talk about it, it's controversial here in Sweden anyway. People talk about it as a terrible, it smells like poop, or it smells like perfume-covered poop or whatever, but it's don't believe any of that. It's a beautiful fragrance, but of course you need to try it, because it is a little bit barnyardy right in the opening, but then it goes, it's a little animalic fragrance. It's so worth waiting for. You just need to wait 5-10 minutes, and then you're past that barnyard feeling, and it's just beautiful, great lasting power. I think I need a bottle. It's unfortunately it's like $250 for 50 ml, so quite pricey. I'm trying to get a decant. I've asked 4 people, and nobody will let any go because they sell them in quite small bottles. I guess that's why. But that gives you some idea about how wonderful it is. Try it. That was all for now.